Emma had been on Tinder for 3 months when she matched with Ryan. Clean-cut guy, finance bro energy, talked about his portfolio management job. Their text chemistry was solid. Nothing creepy, just normal conversation about favorite restaurants and weekend plans. They decided to meet at a wine bar downtown. Ryan showed up looking exactly like his photos, dressed well, paid for the first round without making it weird. Emma actually relaxed. This was going well. 3 hours and 2 bottles of wine later, Emma made a decision she'd regret. My place isn't far. Want to come back for one more drink? Ryan smiled. I'd love that. Her apartment was a typical city studio. Nothing fancy, but clean and personal. She poured them both whiskey while Ryan browsed her bookshelf, making all the right comments about her taste in literature. He seemed genuinely interested in her photography prints on the wall. Around 1 a.m., Emma excused herself to the bathroom. When she came back, Ryan was standing by her desk, holding his phone. Just checking work emails, he said quickly. Sorry, bad habit. They talked for another hour before Ryan said he should head out. He called an Uber, kissed her on the cheek, said he'd text her tomorrow. Emma went to bed thinking she might have actually found a decent guy. The next morning, she woke up to 3 fraud alerts on her phone. Someone had tried to charge $847 at an electronics store, another attempt for $1,200 at a luxury watch retailer, a third pending charge for $650 at a men's clothing boutique, all made around 3 a.m., 2 hours after Ryan left. Emma's stomach dropped. She grabbed her purse, pulled out her wallet. Her credit card was there. Her debit card was there. Everything looked normal. Then she remembered her backup credit card, the one she kept in her desk drawer for emergencies. She ran to the desk. The drawer was slightly open. The card was still there, but it had been moved. She never kept it at that angle. He'd photographed it. While she was in the bathroom, Ryan had found her emergency card, taken pictures of both sides, and memorized the security code. He didn't need to steal the physical card. He just needed the information. Emma called her bank immediately, canceled the card, filed a police report. When she tried to find Ryan on Tinder, his profile had vanished. She reverse searched his photos. They were stolen from a real finance professional's LinkedIn, someone who lived 3 states away. The real Ryan, or whatever his name was, had done this before. The police told Emma she was the 4th victim they knew about. Same MO every time, wine bar, smooth conversation, invitation back to her place, bathroom break, stolen card info. Emma had invited a professional thief into her home because he knew which books to compliment. The charges were reversed, the card was canceled, but Emma couldn't shake the feeling that he'd been hunting her. He'd swiped right because she looked like someone who'd have a nice apartment, someone trusting enough to bring him home on the first date. She deleted Tinder that afternoon. Part 2, the 6-block shadow. Jessica matched with Marcus on a Tuesday. His profile said he was a personal trainer into hiking and outdoor photography. Their conversation was normal. He asked about her job as a graphic designer, shared photos from a recent camping trip, suggested they meet for coffee. They decided on a Starbucks near her neighborhood. Jessica showed up first, ordered a latte, sat by the window. Marcus arrived 10 minutes late, apologetic, bought his own drink. They talked for about 45 minutes. It was fine. Not great, not terrible, just fine. Marcus was a little more intense than his text suggested. He maintained uncomfortable eye contact, leaned in too close, asked very specific questions about where she lived. So you're in the Riverside area? Which building? I might know it. I have clients around there. Jessica kept her answers vague. Just a few blocks from here, she said. When the coffee date ended, Marcus went for a hug that lasted 2 seconds too long. We should do this again. Maybe dinner next time? I could pick you up. I'll text you, Jessica said, already knowing she wouldn't. She walked out of Starbucks and headed toward Target. She needed to grab some groceries before heading home. It was a beautiful Saturday afternoon, lots of people on the street. She felt safe. 2 blocks later, she had that feeling. You know the one. The hair on your neck stands up. Someone's watching you. She turned around casually, pretending to check her phone. Marcus was there, half a block behind her, walking at the exact same pace. Jessica's heart rate spiked. Okay, maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe he's going the same direction. She took a right turn, away from Target, away from her apartment, a route that made no sense unless you were following someone. Marcus turned right. Jessica walked faster. So did Marcus. She crossed the street mid-block. Marcus crossed the street mid-block. 4 blocks, 5 blocks, 6 blocks. He stayed exactly half a block behind her, never closing the distance, never falling back, just there. Jessica was about to call 911 when she saw Salvation, a Target parking lot, full of cars and people. She practically ran inside, went straight to the customer service desk. This is going to sound crazy, but there's a guy following me. Can I just stay here for a few minutes? The employee didn't hesitate. You're staying right here with me. Is he in the store? She looked toward the entrance. Marcus was standing just outside the automatic doors, staring directly at her. Not even pretending anymore. Just watching. The employee called mall security. 2 guards approached Marcus, who immediately put his hands up, all innocent confusion. I don't know what she's talking about. I was just shopping. Sir, the cameras show you followed this woman for 6 blocks. I'm going to ask you to leave the property. Marcus left, but not before looking back at Jessica one more time. Not angry, not embarrassed, just calculating. Like he was memorizing her face for later. Security escorted Jessica to her car. She drove home, watching her rearview mirror the entire way. When she got to her apartment, she checked every window, every lock, every shadow. She blocked Marcus on Tinder. Then she reported him. Then she found out 12 other women had reported him too, all with similar stories. He'd follow them from coffee dates, show up at their gyms, their grocery stores, their regular spots. The app had done nothing. He just kept creating new profiles. Jessica didn't delete Tinder right away, but she stopped meeting people anywhere near her neighborhood, and she never walked home alone after a first date again. Some lessons you learn the hard way. And that really should have been the lesson through the first 2 stories, but anyway. If you're enjoying these stories, hit subscribe. Trust me, it gets worse. Story 3. Part 3. The package deal. Sophia thought she'd seen it all on dating apps. The gym mirror selfies, the dead fish photos, to guys who opened with, "Hey, beautiful," and nothing else. But when she matched with Tyler, she thought maybe, just maybe, she'd found someone normal. Tyler was 29, worked in marketing, had an actual bio that wasn't just his height and Instagram handle. They texted for a week before he suggested dinner at an Italian place downtown. Sounds great, Sophia replied. Friday at 7? Perfect, Tyler wrote back. Oh, quick heads up. My mom's in town visiting. Would it be weird if she joined us? She's super chill, I promise. She's on OkCupid too, actually, and has a date at the same restaurant. We could do like a double date thing? Make it less awkward? Sophia stared at her phone. Read the message 3 times. Tried to figure out if this was a joke. It wasn't a joke. Your mom? She typed carefully. On a double date? With us? I know it sounds weird, Tyler sent back immediately, but she's cool and we're really close. Plus her date seems nice, so it could be fun. Low pressure? Every instinct in Sophia's body screamed no. But she was also morbidly curious. How does this even work? Who suggests this? What kind of person thinks this is okay? Against her better judgment, she said yes. Friday night arrived. Sophia walked into the restaurant and immediately spotted them. Tyler, looking nervous and overdressed, sitting next to an older woman in a sequin top who was weaving enthusiastically. Across from them sat a confused-looking man in his 50s who clearly had no idea this was happening either. Sophia! Tyler's mom, Carol, she'd later learn, jumped up and hugged her like they were old friends. Tyler's told me so much about you. This is Gerald, my date. Isn't this fun? Gerald looked like he wanted to dissolve into the floor. The dinner was exactly as horrifying as you can imagine. Carol dominated every conversation, asked Sophia invasive questions about her job, her family, her intentions with Tyler. She critiqued the menu choices, sent food back twice, and insisted on comparing dating app strategies. You have to understand, Carol said loudly, refilling her wine glass. Tyler and I are a team. We do everything together. When he was going through his divorce, I was there every single day. Helped him move out, helped him set up his new place, helped him create his Tinder profile. We're best friends. I caught Gerald's eye. He looked like he was calculating the quickest exit strategy. Tyler barely spoke. When he did, he'd glance at his mom first, like checking for permission. When Sophia asked him about his marketing job, Carol answered. When Sophia mentioned she liked hiking, Carol launched into a story about their mother-son trip to Colorado. 45 minutes in, Gerald excused himself to the bathroom and never came back. Just left. I watched him walk straight out the front door and actually envied his courage. She lasted another 20 minutes before faking a work emergency. I'm so sorry, I have to go. Client crisis. Tyler walked her out while Carol stayed at the table, finishing her wine. So, second date? He asked hopefully. Sophia stared at him. This man genuinely thought this had gone well. Tyler, you brought your mom on our first date. I know. It was unconventional, but isn't she great? She really liked you. She texted me during dinner. She thinks we'd be good together. Your mom texted you during our date to tell you she approves of me. Yeah, Tyler smiled. So next time, maybe we could... There won't be a next time, Sophia said as gently as she could. I hope you find what you're looking for, but it's not me. She unmatched him before she even got to her car. Later that night, Sophia told the story to her friends. They laughed so hard, one of them cried. But underneath the humor was something sadder. Tyler was 29 years old and couldn't have dinner with a woman without his mom present. Sophia didn't delete the app, but she added a new screening question to her text conversations. How is your relationship with your mom? If the answer was anything more than good, she was out. Part 4. The 2-hour proposal. Megan had low expectations for her date with Brad. His photos were decent, but clearly from 5 years ago. His bio was generic, and his opening message was, "Hey, you're cute." Wrong, you're. But he asked her to a nice cocktail bar, and Megan was bored on a Thursday night, so she said yes. Brad showed up 15 minutes late and noticeably different from his photos. Heavier, older, wearing a wrinkled button-up that looked like he found it at the bottom of a laundry basket. But fine, Megan wasn't shallow. She'd give it a chance. They ordered drinks. Megan got a vodka soda. Brad ordered a double whiskey neat. Then another. Then another. By drink 3, 20 minutes into the date, Brad was telling her about his ex-wife. She didn't understand me, he slurred slightly. Didn't appreciate what I brought to the relationship. I'm a provider, you know? I work hard, but it's never enough for some people. Megan nodded politely, trying to steer the conversation elsewhere. So what do you do for work? I'm between opportunities right now, which Megan correctly interpreted as unemployed. But I've got big plans. Big plans. I'm thinking about starting a business. Importing something. Haven't figured out what yet. Drink 4 arrived. Brad didn't pace himself. "You're different," he said suddenly, leaning across the table. "You're not like these other girls on Tinder. You're real. You know what I mean? Real." "Thanks." Megan checked her phone. They'd been there 40 minutes. "No, seriously." Brad grabbed her hand across the table. His palm was sweaty. "I can tell you're special. I've been on a lot of these dates, and you're the one." Megan gently pulled her hand back. "That's nice, but we just met." "Exactly!" Brad's eyes lit up. "That's what I'm saying. When you know, you know. My grandparents met and got married 3 weeks later. 50 years together. That's real love." Drink 5. Brad was now talking very loudly. "I'm tired of games," he announced to Megan and approximately half the bar. "I'm 38 years old. I want a wife. I want kids. I want the house and the dog and the whole thing. And I think you might be the person I do that with." Megan's fight or flight response activated. "Brad, you're drunk. Maybe we should call it a night." "I'm not drunk," Brad insisted, knocking over his empty glass. "I'm clear-headed for the first time in years. Megan, will you marry me?" The bar went silent. "Brad, we met an hour ago." "An hour and 45 minutes," Brad corrected, as if that made it better. "Long enough to know you're perfect. Come on, say yes. We'll figure out the details later." "I'm leaving." Megan stood up and grabbed her purse. Wait. Did I do something wrong? Was it too fast?" "We can slow down. We can date for like a month first." Megan walked toward the exit. Brad followed, getting louder. "You're just like the rest of them. All you women are the same. You say you want commitment, but when a guy actually offers it, you run." The bartender intercepted Brad. "Sir, I think you need to leave." "I'm trying to leave. I'm trying to leave with my future wife." Megan made it outside and immediately called an Uber. 3 minutes away. She watched through the bar window as the bartender cut Brad off and called him a cab. Her phone buzzed. A text from Brad's number. "I'm sorry. I really thought we had something. You're making a huge mistake." Then another. "Can we at least be friends?" Then another. "You know what? Forget it. You weren't that hot anyway." Megan blocked the number, deleted the text thread, and when she got home, she wrote a review of the cocktail bar, praising the bartenders for excellent intervention skills. She didn't delete Tinder, but she added a new rule. Coffee dates only. No alcohol, no exceptions. Some men see dating apps as a shortcut to solving their loneliness. They're not looking for a person, they're looking for a solution. And the moment they think they've found it, they grip so tight they strangle any possibility of real connection. Brad proposed because he wanted to be married, not because he wanted to marry Megan specifically. She was just convenient, present, available. That's not romance. That's desperation. And desperation is the fastest way to end up alone. Part 5. The Digital Detective. Lauren thought she'd been careful. When she matched with Chris on Hinge, she made sure her Instagram wasn't linked. Her last name wasn't in her profile. Her photos didn't show identifiable locations or her apartment building. She learned from past mistakes. Chris seemed great on paper, software engineer, well-traveled, good taste in music. They texted for 2 weeks before agreeing to meet for drinks. The conversation flowed easily. He was funny, asked good questions, seemed genuinely interested in her work as a teacher. At the end of the night, Chris walked her to her Uber. "I had a great time," he said. "Would love to do this again." "Me too," Lauren said honestly. They hugged goodbye. Lauren got in the car feeling optimistic for the first time in months. The next morning, she woke up to something strange. A follow request on Instagram from someone named Chris_Adventures 2024. The profile was new, only 3 posts, all generic landscape photos, no followers, following 47 people. Lauren's stomach dropped. She hadn't told Chris her Instagram handle. She'd specifically kept her last name off Tinder. How did he find her? She declined the request and checked her followers list. Nothing unusual. She checked who her friends were following. Nothing. Then she noticed something weird. Over the past 24 hours, someone had followed 47 of her existing followers. Random people. Her college roommate's boyfriend, her coworker's sister, her yoga instructor, people she barely interacted with online. Someone had gone through her tagged photos, found people in the background, identified them, and started following them. Lauren felt sick. She opened her Hinge and checked Chris's profile. It was gone. Not unmatched, completely deleted, like he'd never existed. She screenshotted everything she had, their text messages, his photos, his first name. Then she made her Instagram private and spent 2 hours going through her followers, trying to figure out who this Chris_Adventures account might know. The account never messaged her, never commented, just watched, following people adjacent to her life, building a map of her social connections. 3 days later, Lauren was at her regular coffee shop, the one she went to every Saturday morning. She was in line, checking her phone, when someone tapped her shoulder. Lauren. She turned. Chris, standing there with his own coffee, smiling like they'd planned to meet. "Oh my God, what a coincidence," he said. "I can't believe you come here too." Lauren's blood turned to ice. This wasn't her neighborhood. This coffee shop was 20 minutes from her apartment. She'd never mentioned it, never posted about it, never tagged the location. "How did you know I'd be here?" she asked quietly. Chris's smile faltered for just a second. I didn't. I come here all the time. This is my regular spot." "You live around here?" "Yeah, just a few blocks away." Lauren knew he was lying. On their date, Chris had mentioned living downtown. This was the suburbs. "I have to go," Lauren said, abandoning her place in line. "Wait, do you want to grab a table? Catch up?" Lauren walked out without answering. She went straight to her car, locked the doors, and drove home watching her mirrors. That night, she went through her Instagram stories from the past month. One of them, a silly video of her coffee order, had the location tag visible for about 3 seconds before she'd covered it with a sticker. But for those 3 seconds, it was there. Chris had found it, screen recorded it, figured out her regular schedule. Lauren reported him to Hinge. The app sent an automated response thanking her for the feedback. No follow-up, no investigation, just a form letter. She made all her social media private, changed her routines, started varying her coffee shops, her grocery stores, her gym times. For 3 weeks, she looked over her shoulder everywhere she went. Chris_Adventures 2024 eventually stopped following her friends. The account went dormant. But Lauren never forgot the feeling of turning around in that coffee shop and seeing him there, pretending it was chance. These apps ask us to trust strangers with our time, our attention, our vulnerability. But some people see that vulnerability as an opportunity, a puzzle to solve, a game to win. Lauren deleted all her dating apps after that, not because she'd given up on finding someone, but because she realized that digital breadcrumbs are harder to erase than we think. And some people are very, very good at following trails. That's 5 warnings you needed to hear. Subscribe to PMSR for more stories that'll keep you up at night. And seriously, which one scared you most? Drop it in the comments. See you next time.